Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of The Glitch, a show that is about how to turn problems into power and how we can, turn our glitches into gifts. On today's episode, we have the pop singer Lilly White. So Lilly, please tell us, what is one of your favorite quotes and why?
Well, Lance, thank you so much for having me on the show. Guys, thanks for watching. When I was about 17 years old, I joined the Army, and I was sitting on like this terrible 24-hour fire guard shift. Just a little background, that's basically where you sit and guard a fire extinguisher, no purpose. I had no cell phone, nothing but a military handbook and a notebook. And as I was sitting there, I went to go write a mean letter to my recruiter because I was angry. I was pissed, I was depressed, I was hopeless, I was just feeling like, Sergeant Johnson, I totally hate you, this is all your fault. As I was feeling those feelings, I went to go tear this letter out. I was angry, crying. I ripped it out and I saw this quote on the page, and I had wrote it when I was in high school because I used to love going and journaling and putting little notes in books and forgetting about them. Well, those words didn't mean so much to me then, but in that moment, it meant the world. So as I sat there and I read this quote, I think it's by Eleanor Roosevelt, it says, "You gain strength, courage, and confidence by every experience in which you stop to look fear in the face." And then I read it again. I was like, wait a minute. You gain strength, courage, and confidence by every experience in which you stop to look fear in the face? One more time. We really gain strength, courage, and confidence by every experience in which we stop to look fear in the face, and it all clicked. It made so much sense. Everything I had been crying for was pointless. I was like, this is a gift, and I started to realize and make so much sense of things that I hadn't made sense of before. And as I look back on it now, that moment, that quote, that meaning, forgetting fear of failure, forgetting fear of the unknown, is something that I want to challenge you guys today to do. Forget what people think and just face your fear.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So Lilly, tell me this. What is that core message that you want the viewers to really take away from your presentation?
Well, Lance, as I go through my life and I encounter things every day that hurt me, and I'm not ashamed to admit it, because it's something that I believe that we truly all go through. And whether it be somebody who ignores my text and it hurts my feelings because I'm totally into this guy, or a group of kids at school that made me feel left out that I'm running into again, and it's bringing up memories of being that weird homeschool kid that made me wonder what's wrong with me. And something that's really helped me, and a message that I want you guys to take away from this is surrounding this illustration that I want to share with you. So I want to ask a question to you. How much is this worth? And if you answer $1, you're correct. Great job. Now, if I crumple this up really tight, and I throw it on the ground, hopefully it doesn't blow away, it's a little windy out, and I stomp on it. I'm stomping on it, you can't see, I'm stomping on it, okay? And I pick it back up. How much is it worth now? If your answer is $1, you passed kindergarten. And you should see here from this illustration that value stays the same. Regardless of what we did to this dollar, we crumped it up, we threw it on the ground, we stomped on it, we threw dirt on the same, we were disrespect, everything. No matter what happened, the value stayed the same. So the core message of what I want you to take away from this is that regardless of the way that life treats you, regardless of the way that the world treats you, that is not something that they can give you or take away as your value. That is not something they gave you, that is not something they can take away. So leave here today knowing that value stays the same.
I love that. And Lilly, I feel your passion. And here's which leads me to my next question. What is it that is fueling your passion?
Yeah, I guess we should talk more about what's fueling me, but who I am as a person is kind of all that ties in together. So I'm a pop singer-songwriter, a mom, a veteran, and a recent advocate for mental health awareness after losing my brother to a mental health related condition last month. In the weeks following his passing, I found myself questioning many things. Like, what the heck am I doing here? How could this happen to my family? Is this my fault? And this left me to wonder lots of things. And as I came to find the answers that I needed in the quiet of my own mind, I found that this one phrase that stuck with me, that I feel like I really want to share with you guys so that you can use it to dismiss negative mindsets bad thoughts, anything where you're self-bashing, just use this to help ground yourself again. I am not my issues. And this is a phrase that I repeat to myself. I am not my issues. So if you're here, you're with somebody, just tell them you got issues, but you are not your issues. And that's something that I really, really believe in so strongly, is that these things do not define us. They may be things that we carry with us, but they're not something that defines us. So dismiss those thoughts, those voices, those lies, and just remember that you're not your issues. You are beautiful.
I love that. I love that. And you know, one of the main things that I really admire about you is how you've been able to take problems in your life and turn it into, you know, passion and power. And you know, talking about glitches and how our glitches can be our gift. And so tell me this, what are some of the issues or the glitches in your life that have turned out to be such great blessings and gifts?
Yeah, I think in my short 26 years, there's been things like divorce, battle with cancer, 3 deployments. There's just been a lot that I've had to take in that I needed something to put out. And at 20, finding out that I had cancer, the story behind it is kind of miraculous because I was pregnant with my daughter, not exactly thrilled, young, pregnant, decided to keep the baby, never really knowing that choosing her life would really impact mine. In the weeks following, I went for an ultrasound and found out that I had a huge mass on my left ovary, having my ovary have to be completely removed. At this point, I realized that my worst fear became my biggest blessing. So there's a story that kind of goes along with that I really like to hone in on when I'm feeling completely hopeless, and it's about a water carrier and it's 2 pots. So there's a pot that's perfect and flawless in every way, and then there's another pot, just like clay pots, and it has a crack in the side. Now the water carrier would put them on long poles and he would walk every day from his house to the stream to get water. On the way back, the pot that was cracked would leak water out its side. Now, the pot that was perfect felt amazing. It had great self-esteem, it was happy, and it didn't feel inferior in any way because it was successful in delivering this full portion of water. Now the pot that was cracked felt hopeless, it felt useless, it felt miserable, like it had no point to the water carrier because, it couldn't bring back the full portion of water. It made no sense. This went on for years, and eventually the broken pot spoke up to the water carrier and he said, "Look, why do you use me? I'm broken, I'm never going to be made well. This is hopeless. Why don't you just destroy me because my life is pointless and it serves no purpose?" And the water carrier responded to the pot and he was like, "Have you noticed that along your side of the path, there are flowers? Only on your side, not on the side of the other pot. That every day for the past few years as we've walked here, the water that's leaked out the crack in your side has been watering these flowers so that I could pick them and bring them home to bring more beauty into the world. That without you being exactly the way you are, without your flaws, this beautiful thing wouldn't be here." So that to me means that the cracks in my life are there for a reason.
Powerful, powerful, powerful. So tell me this, what are some specific ways in which we can bring beauty from ashes?
Well, I think for me, my music is the biggest thing that I've been able to create from my pain. And like I talked a little bit about before, is this outlet of feeling like I needed to put something out from everything that I'm taking in. We go through things throughout our day that are stressful, and it's just finding that thing for you that is the outlet for you to transform. And regardless of whether it be music, whether it be art, whether it be dance, whether it be any other form of expression, that you find some way to simply not be a stuffer and find some way to express, even if it's talking or reaching out to a friend and asking for help. It's as important and as small as that, but it can really make all the difference in the world, this outlet. So I wrote a song about unconditional love that I'm going to share the links with in the comments, I guess, and you guys will be able to listen to it. But this song was created, birthed on the rooftop of the Carnegie Mellon Auditorium from a guitar I grabbed from a friend, and it was spontaneous, spur of the moment, but it was heartbreaking for me at the time because I was going through a painful situation with a guy who I had been looking for this love, this unconditional love that it just hadn't showed up yet, and I'm still feeling like I'm just waiting and trying to find a way to handle not having that love that you search for, that you feel like you're not going to find, that's unconditional, that has no boundaries and no limits. So this song really means that to me, and this is the outlet for me to create something beautiful. I want to leave you guys with power today. I want you to feel empowered. I want you to feel like you have power over doubt. I want you to feel like you have power over your situations, power to take something painful and horrible and transform it into something beautiful and positive.
I love that. I love that. Well, guys, thank you for watching. And please always remember, your glitch is your gift.